Okay, again, on this one, the scores were 6, 0, 7, total 20. A score of 0 indicates that the maker is one of the judges.
You ready for me to take it down? Yeah.
8, 8, 7, total 23. Seven, 8, 7, total 22. Seven, 0, 8, total 23. Seven, 7, 6, total 20. Eight, 6, 7, total 21. Eight, 8, 8, total 24. Eight, 8, 8, total 24. Six, 7, 7, total 20.
Okay, we're now going to set up for color prints. Judges are Ed Paniquia, Susan Willen, and Beth Larson.
Seven, 8, 7, total 22. Eight, 7, 7, total 22.
Try to make sure they're centered in the box as much as possible.
Slide it to your right a little bit. Left, there you go. You guys already judge that? What, 7, 7, 6, right? 7, 7, 6, 20. Eight, 7, 7, total 22. 878, total 23. Sorry. Look at the image. 766, total 19. Eight, 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 total 24. Seven, eight, zero, total 23. Eight, seven, seven, total 22. 877, total 22. 760, total 20. 888, total 24. 086, total 21. 877, total 22. 787, total 22. 867, total 21. 077, total 21. 788, total 23.
Last will be monochrome prints. And the judges will be Ed Paniqua, Bill Welch. Bill Woody will be our third judge.
Seven, eight, seven, total 22. 807, total 23. 797, 23. 878, 23. Seven, 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 21. Seven, eight, zero, 23. Seven, zero, seven, 21. Zero, eight, seven, 23. Eight, seven, zero, 23. Seven, seven, six, 20. Eight, 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 24. Seven, eight, eight, 23. Eight, eight, seven, 23. Eight, nine, seven, 24. Eight, eight, seven, 23. Eight, seven, seven, 22. Seven, eight, seven, 22. Nine, seven, seven, 23. That ends this edition of 23 and Me.
And a few announcements. This evening's presentation is going to be by Jeff Fisher, Moab, Utah. Looking forward to that. I've been out there a couple of times and Jeff's been out there, I guess, like 10 or more. So we ought to have a fun time with that presentation. The next meeting is the projection contest on November 24th. The themed category is leading lines, so that should be fun. The presentation for that meeting is Susan Willen, and her topic is going to be editing to create art. And I'm really looking forward to that because we've all seen what Susan's images look like. If you haven't had a chance to read the recent Tripod Club newsletter, I really recommend that you take a peek at it. It's got great images and it has a nice focus this month on Bruce Seufer, who is with us tonight, and I really enjoyed that. Also, a very informative article on simplicity by Judd Plattenberg. And Dan Landis has a great president's letter as well. As you know, Dan is a former high school English teacher, and so I'm looking forward to his first novel in the future. Beth Larson has really tapped into the talents of our membership here, and it's really made for a great newsletter. That's all we have from this end. Are there any announcements out there?
Start off with small prints. And this is honorable mention, score of 21 with Cute Kestrel. Beth Larson. Sorry. Our next honorable mention in small prints with a score of 20 is Adela on Standing Ice with Karen Frischman. Our next honorable mention is a score of 20 with Dandelions and Dewdrops, and this is by Kevin Morano. The next honorable mention, score of 22, Red and Black by Kevin Morano. Honorable mention. This is Curvy Blazing Star, Beth Larson. Next honorable mention with a score of 20 is Steps in the Condo by Bill Woody. Our next honorable mention with a score of 20 is Baby Raccoon by Bill Welch. Moving on to fourth place with a score of 23, we have By the Sea by Bill Woody. Our next fourth place with a score of 23, Hummingbird on Zinnia number 3 by Dan Landis. And now moving on to first place with a score of 24, we have Butterfly on Zinnia by Dan Landis. Our next first place with a score of 24 is Golden Breasted Starling by Karen Frischman. And our final first place in small prints with a score of 24 is Baby Bluebird in Flight by Bill Welsh.
Because honorable mention third, then first.
Perfect. Got them all. Okay, moving on to color prints. Starting off with honorable mention with a score of 22, we have Fog and Reflection by Kevin Morano. Our next honorable mention with a score of 22 is Rail Fence by Bob Hawkins. Our next honorable mention with a score of 22 is Alde Jarvas by Bob Hawkins. Our next honorable mention with a score of 22, A Pair of Wood Ducks by Bill Welch. An honorable mention with a score of 22, Dayton at Sunset by Judd Plattenberg. Honorable mention with a score of 22, Danny in the Red Car by Judd Plattenberg. I believe our final honorable mention with a score of 22, Spoonbill Reflection by Dan Landis. Moving on to third place with a score of 23, we have Visitors by Dan Landis. Third place with a score of 23, Patting Brothers Back, Karen Frischman. Third place, the score of 23, we have Rocky Mountain National Park by Ed Paniqua. Moving on to first place with a score of 24, we have Dancer on the Steps by Bill Woody. And our next first place in color prints with a score of 24, we have Glad Creek Gristmill by Bill Welsh. Our next honorable mention with a score of 22, At Attention in the Mansion by Judd Plattenberg. Our last honorable mention with a score of 22, Silk Mill Scale by Beth Larson. Thank you. Moving on to third place with a score of 23, An Old Oil Truck, Karen Frischman. Third place, score of 23, Wine Glass and Bottle by Bob Hawkins. Third place with a score of 23, Fetch Fido by Paul Bruce. Third place with a score of 23. What is this, Judd? I can't read it. Solitude by Judd Plattenberg. Third place with a score of 23, Reading Room by Ed Paniqua. Third place with a score of 23, Thurman in Black and White by Bill Welsh. Third place with a score of 23, We have Towering by Ed Paniqua. Third place with a score of 23, Laotian, how do I say that? Laotian Monk by Dan Lantis. Third place with a score of 23, Black Church Monochrome by Bob Hawkins. I believe our last third place with a score of 23, we have Concrete Central Fabric 2018 by Bill Woody. Moving on to first place with a score of 24, we have Dory Shop by Bill Welsh. And our last first place with a score of 24, we have Big Daddy by Paul Bruce.
If we can turn the lights on.
Yep. I just picked two because there really wasn't a lot of honorable mentions or ones that didn't place tonight. This is by Beth Larson, and I don't know if you can tell from your camera, but it's just printed exquisitely, and it looks like it's in a cave. And I thought it was just beautiful. And then the other one I picked was by Bill Woody, and there's just something about the mood of this print with the guy out of focus in the background, the look on her face. It struck me as a print that could have scored a lot higher than it did. Printed very nice.
Uh,
This one out because I judged the whole thing. And I love this, just to say, sometimes we like to talk about the frog in the pond and the frog being the point of interest in the middle of an image. And I thought this in meeting that requirement was exquisite. That's all I wanted to say about it. This one's mine, and I put it up to say, not that it's my favorite picture, but I climbed this stairway every day for a week. And about every other time I climbed this stairway, I took its picture. And I don't know which way it goes, so I'm going to take it home and set it on the rail and look at it. It's a graphic. Maybe it needs some more punch in the center. I'm not sure. But I brought it because I like it, and no more than that. This is an exquisite print, and it got a 24, so it was like 3/8 from all judges. And it's a wonderful print and deserving, but it came right before or after this one, which is one of the others that I thought might have been best of show. This print has exquisite detail, exquisite print quality, and the composition is very, very strong. I just really enjoyed that photograph. And another one where I was the minority voice. Occasionally you get to make a score on a print that you say, I did it because this got a 797, and I had the 9 vote, and it's not mine. It's by Bob Hawkins, I think. I thought it was a bold statement. It's exquisitely printed. The black in the center I love, but there's full detail in the black, and I really, really liked it. So I just picked it up to say, wow, I like that. I don't know, somebody whispered something to me about this print, but I picked it up because I wanted to critique it. It's exquisitely printed and incredible detail in the foreground and the face of the building. But that somehow seems contradictory with the sky that's so bold, that has so much black in it, compared to, say, the rest of the image, almost brown tone. But here and there, I love the image. I think it might work a little better without so much drama in the sky. Another great print. This is a Jed Plattenberg print. One of my favorite places and one of Bill Welch's favorite models. Bill, near as I can tell, has only ever photographed one person. And it was Shelby at Silo City several years ago. It showed up on Facebook today, but this is in the new belt room. Incredible detail in the shadow. So if you ever get a chance to look at this photo, enjoy it. This is a print that I liked, but I struggled with. And believe it or not, the thing I struggled with was the lack of uniformity in the white in the face of the scale. And I'm talking right up here where it's dark in this part. I would do anything with this print if I could make that be uniform white going around the edges to the face of the scale. The picture would hold together better. Another incredible print with great tonal value in the face of the dancers, but it has a little nit that is distracting and a little difficult to look at. And it is right up here where the male dancer's foot is tangled up in the chandelier behind him. That isn't tangled up, it just looks that way. So I know it was a hard situation, but if you can untangle that, it'd be a good thing. Love this, simple photograph. Go hang it on the wall. Plantation Path is by Beth. I think I only have one print here. It feels like it's going to jump off. It's printed a little soft, which in hang it in the right place, you'll love it forever. But in a print competition, it ought to have a little more zip for the judges, a little more contrast overall to help that path stand out in the middle of the cool brown. Another one I struggled with was this one. And the struggle in this one is it has 3 points of interest that sort of lead your eye through the picture, but you can't stop. You can't find a place to stop. I would say to the maker, you might think about eliminating this one with a crop here. So you could do whatever you wanted, but this and this and this make the viewer struggle with the image. This is a gorgeous print, and I put it up here for a reason. The maker did a wonderful job on the ground, and it wasn't me, it was Judd. And I contrast it with this image where I did not clean up the seaweed. And when I was judging tonight, I went, crap, I wish I cleaned up the seaweed because it looks like junk on the ground, and I wish I'd fixed it. Judd and I had a conversation in the past week about how much weeding do you do in the garden when you shoot the garden picture. And this one's pretty heavily weeded. I mean, there's nothing left. That one's not. And in hindsight, I'd say he did it right. That's all I wanted to say. Those are all decisions we make when making prints. Exquisite photo. It could have been best to show. It was tied for first, right? No? It was honorable mention. And fine. For me, if it had been best to show, and I'm not a real pumper upper on birds, but this could have been best of show in my mind. I thought it was just beautiful. And this one's here because Paul Bruce wants to say, WTF? What were you doing? How did you do this? Dan?
Oh, well, if you've ever been out to Carlisle, Ohio,
Carlisle?
not me. Shot the Futuro house. And then I was wrestling with what to do with it because just sitting there on the lot, it didn't look that great. Actually, my grandson, when he saw what I could do in Photoshop, he just said, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And before long, I just was having fun playing in Photoshop. I just put the 3 different pictures of the Futuro house at this beach setting and then
There it was.
just played around.
It's cool.
It was fun. You know,